Hi, I'm Rob. Welcome to the Electrolander Project. What is the Electrolander Project? Well, this is where I'm going to take that 72-year-old Cushman motor scooter and make it an electric bike. For those of you who are returning, thank you. Staying with me through all the ridiculousness. This one shouldn't be that bad. And for anybody new, welcome to the channel. I apologize for the bad production values, bad lighting, all of that. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just an old guy in his garage trying to turn an old scooter into an electric bike. But today is episode 10, Wheels and Tires. As you can notice, there are wheels and tires on that frame. So we'll go through how we did that and bring you up to speed. And without any further ado, let's go do that. So, you remember back in episode 7B, it felt like a whole COVID ago, we took the tires off the wheels, split the wheels in half, and realized that not only were the tires garbage, but so were the wheels. Near as I can tell, this Nanco brand tire is intended for use on trailers, and you can buy them at any local Walmart for about $15. They are DOT approved. However, you'll note that the shoulders are extremely square, and there's not a lot of roundness to the top of the tread, which is indicative with a trailer tire that is only ever going to roll, in a straight line. A motorcycle tire or a motor scooter tire would have a much more rounded shoulder to it. As you lean into the corners, it wants to ride on the shoulders. There is no shoulder on these tires. Okay, we're back, and I figured out how to turn the light on the phone. So there's a better look at that blob, whatever that is. But remember I was saying it's a 7.75 inch rim and an 8-inch tire. If you look at this line right here, the edge of the rim bead, you'll notice it's nowhere near the tire. Follow it around. Okay, now it's tucked under the rim bead, under the rim. Now it comes back out, kind of swirls around over there. It does say DOT. It's got some kind of goofy DOT code. But I don't believe this tire is anywhere near centered on this rim. If any of you know for a fact what a Nanco LH593-04 is, which is kind of weird because the other tire said -06, please let me know in the comments. Honestly, mounting an 8-inch diameter tire on a 7.75 inch rim, that might explain why the bike kind of hopped up and down, because really I can't imagine that tire ever seated on the rim properly at all. So we had to get new wheels. But then the question becomes, do I go with the original Cushman wheels and reproduction Cushman tires, which I can still buy in the proper 4.75 inch wide by 7.75 inch diameter rim size? Okay, so this is what a proper Cushman 100 tire is supposed to look like. The 100 tire is a 4.75 by 7.75 tire, meaning it's 4.75 inches wide on a 7.75 or 7 3/4 inch diameter rim, which means the rim from here to here is 7 3/4. Now you see on this tire, you can see the bead line going all the way around because this is a proper Cushman tire, properly sized. Additionally, you see a nice round shoulder there. So when you lean into the corners, you're still on the tread. Or do I go modern? Do I use a modern motor scooter tire off of, say a Honda? Would it fit? So I queried Jim's Cushman Parts up in Minnesota, and he contacted Arcadia Cushman, and they came back and said, yes, you can do a modern tire wheel combination on a Highlander 715, but you can't use the standard combination. But if you want, we can put something together for you that will fit. And I'm like, I'm not trying to completely restore the bike to its original condition anymore. I should probably go with the safer, DOT approved wheel and tire package. Modern tires, easy to replace. If I have a flat somewhere, I can get another one right away. What I decided to go with is the modern motor scooter tire that is mounted on a 10-inch solid aluminum rim. This tubeless tire, it's a one-piece rim, much like a modern motor scooter would have. This is a Shinko SR425 tubeless tire in a 130/70 by 10 inch size. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Steve. Life is good. All right, so all we need to do, put the new wheel and tire on the old hub. Yep, presto. We use the old hardware because we know it fits. And we're not going for beautiful anymore. And nice socket. Over there. Snug them. Make sure they're all seated properly. And then proper torque is pull as hard as you can with a 3/8 ratchet. Opposite side. 90 degrees. And opposite side. Presto, wheel and tire mounted. Okay, so today we're going to put the rear wheel on. I hope. We'll find out if this works. Big washer, big nut on this side. Stay? Yes, it stays. Woohoo! And the bolts on this side. Clearly the bike was painted with the wheel in place because it was painted through the slot originally. Not by me. And the other bolt. Not sure. Man, get that come up. Yeah, it doesn't want to come up. Awesome. There we go. Up, up, up. Forward. Oh, okay, this is gonna suck. Hey, it stayed. Bonus. Okay. And the rear wheel is in place. We're not going to tighten it down because
We need to move it forward and backward to adjust the chain. Put the wheels on. Woo! So we've now mounted the front wheel. It took me 3 of my own hands, yeah, figure that one out, to get that wheel up in there. So I didn't film it because it took me about, I don't know, 15 tries, because there is a safety feature here that latches over the top in case, you know, one of your axle nuts comes loose, which I thought was pretty cool. So that is on there. I had to use Navy Army specification nuts on the inside down here to get it to fit in between the fork legs without spreading them, which would have affected the suspension and the ride. So I put those in, then I added a couple on the outside because, yeah, ridiculousness. The nuts that were on there were mixed. One was a jam nut, one was a standard nut. So I replaced them with acorn nuts just to keep the nut, you know, the axles from rusting and protect the ends from damage. And yeah, okay, so I splurged and I bought some black chrome acorn nuts. Okay, so that is it for episode 10, Wheels and Tires. Tune in soon for episode 11, which I believe will be brakes, because yes, I'd like to be able to stop. Along with some bonus footage of the Cushman National Convention that I just visited. So with that, have a great one. Be well, be safe. We'll see you soon. Bye.